Hey guys, it's Connor. I just wanted to make this quick video discussing a couple things. I just came back from the theater of seeing Super Pets, the League of Super Pets. Um, and it was this nice little campy movie. I watched that um, weird, only couple episodes aired cartoon of Super Pets. Uh, I think it was like Super Hound or Crypto the Super Hound or something. I don't remember the exact title, but it was something like that. And I was 5 years old when I watched it, and I liked it. It was just something to pass the time. And this movie was kind of the same. It was a comedy. It was funny some moments, kind of cringy some moments, kind of basic stuff you would expect for a children's animated movie. That's kind of like why I watch these films. I watch these films a lot more also because I'm kind of autistic, but I watch these films because I know what to expect, and they can just be a good time. But one thing I've noticed is actually a lot of the times, well, while I was watching the movie, I just had this really bad taste in my mouth, um, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and then I realized something crazy. While I was watching it, um, I realized that this film kind of had racist undertones. Not gonna lie. Now that's not. Now it's a part of the movie. It's this undertone that plagues the movie, and the whole film's not about racism, of course, but it's this racist undertone that has been expressed throughout this movie a lot. Um, and I noticed that it's something that has plagued our media a lot, and it's just something that's just happened for years, and that's why I naturally watched a lot of Godzilla movies in my youth, and then I started to get into anime after I kind of slowed down with Godzilla, and then I started watching all my stuff again, the American stuff, the American media, and I realized after a bit, as more American media was released, my first clue was Ghostbusters 2016, and then my brother, who absolutely hates anime, recommends me this anime because he was trying to get on the Attack on Titan hype train. Recommends it to me, so I watch it. I love it. Start watching more anime, and then I realize something. I love anime a hell of a lot more than I love American culture, and uh, maybe because I don't have to deal with the crap uh, that I'm dealing with watching American media, and that's this constant kind of racist undertone that's in American media of discriminating against people for equity reasons, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But I want to go back to this movie, Super Pets, because I was kind of on a tangent. And of course, I'm speaking off the cuff. Um, so the most the undertone that I saw a lot in this movie came with the swapping of a character's race, and that was Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Now it's like Jessica. um, so look, if you're like a centrist when it comes to your political views, you probably don't see much in this. You don't really care, but I think you should care, and I don't think you should be for this. Now, first of all, when it comes to representation of characters that have previously existed, characters like Batman, Superman, Cyborg, uh, Captain Marvel, both kinds. There are some things that I'm lenient on. Lenient, I don't know what that word is. There are some things that my rules are loose on, and some things that my rules tighten up a bit. For example, when it comes to like Superman, I like writing scripts a lot. Although I've never written a script, I've got an idea for the script I'd like to write for a Superman movie. And when I was thinking of it in my head, I thought that, oh, it would be cool if we had someone that was Latino playing Superman, because it would be a nice change of pace, and it would be the same Superman, but he would just have a darker skin color, and that would kind of work, because Superman's an alien, isn't he? Doesn't necessarily need to have white skin. Now, if we cast some African, he would look nothing like Superman. So, uh, as long as the character represents what the original character is supposed to be and maintains that, I'm fine with you being any race. As long as you look like, as long as you maintain the same values and the same personality, I'm fine with you uh, swapping races. Um, Not the same for sex, because if a character is male, we shouldn't make him female. But in this movie, they decided to do that with Green Lantern, and so yeah, so it's Jessica instead of Jordan, and it's uh, it's like this interracial uh, female who's named Jessica, and instead of Hal Jordan, it's Jessica, and she has this weird ass uh, hair that's got the waves on the side, and it's the big ass emo haircut dyed green, and just your proper SJW kind of look, your proper woke look. And I didn't understand why they had to do it. I haven't done my research, so maybe there's a Jessica Green Lantern or something. I don't know. But they acted like this is the definitive Green Lantern, just like the comics used to say that Hal Jordan was the definitive Green Lantern. Now, here's the thing: there is already a black Green Lantern out there, and it's actually a black Green Lantern that I prefer over Hal Jordan, and he was in the Justice League animated series. Uh, it's a Green Lantern that a lot of people prefer. So why couldn't they cast that Green Lantern? Instead, they have to make up their own character, and this is because I don't think that a lot of these people, these writers, I don't think they actually read the material. They have a baseline understanding of it, and they just go off of there. But that's not how it works. Sorry, you can't just take my characters and swap their race and their gender, because I'm not going to give you money. But here's the thing: I didn't know about this. They never showed this in the trailers. If they showed it in the trailers, I wouldn't have watched it, because I don't want my characters to swap genders and swap races when they clearly are not that. So why did they feel the need to do this? Um, it's like DC has this goal to wokeize everything, and now they have this new LGBT DC universe where they're recreating all their characters, but instead they're like diverse, which doesn't actually mean anything anymore. You know why? Because diversity used to be like something important, Diversity is important when it comes to storytelling, characters. Uh, if everybody is just as basic as a cardboard box, um, you're gonna get bored. So, but this Green Lantern character, it's not like she had a new personality. Her personality. I mean, her only personality is that she had an accent, and that she was black, and that she had crazy green dyed hair. It was all things that that was on her outer appearance. Nothing to do with her actual personality. Nothing to make her unique. So pretty much the only purpose of changing her race is to change her race for no reason. Change her race and swap Hal Jordan's gender from he to she, uh, and just do all that for the sake of just doing it. and I guess for equity reasons. But this discriminates, you know? I've always said, and you haven't heard me say this, but I've always said, equity breeds indiscrimination. You know, you see what happened. You see what happened with that. This with Snow White. You know, and Hornswoggle, who's a guy that I've met, awesome guy. Uh, Hornswoggle came out because the actor from Game of Thrones. I don't know. I don't watch it. I don't watch that shit. The actor of Game of Thrones who played the dwarf in there, he was talking about how it's offensive for dwarves to play the seven deadly the seven to play the seven dwarfs in the apparently Snow White live action remake. So they decided to cast all tall people, and that pretty much got rid of all the dwarf actors that could have been in that role and got their career started, and it could have been something that's very positive. But because some woke actor decided to say that that's offensive, now they're going to discriminate against seven dwarf actors who could have actually uh, played in that role and normalized dwarf acting in cinema. And this is a woke actor that has kind of done that. You know, he played a dwarf character in Game of Thrones, but now he's saying that playing dwarf characters as dwarves is a bad thing. And he literally just played a dwarf character. So he's discriminating against people, and it's all on the basis of equity and inclusion, but you're not including people by saying, oh, it's it's offensive that dwarves play dwarves. It's offensive. You know, in 2020, with the crazy BLM riots and everything, the actor who played Cleveland Brown of Family Guy, and I used to like Family Guy. I used to watch it a lot, but I don't like it anymore. You know, I went back when I was a bit older and watched it, and it sucked. Really, really sucked. And it's funny a little bit, but it sucked. But anyway, the actor of Cleveland Brown quit because he wasn't black, and you got to have a black guy to play Cleveland Brown, you know. And the new actor is pretty good, but you know what? Here's the thing: why can't we hold that standard for everything else? If we're saying that it's offensive for dwarves to play dwarves, then how come we're not saying that it's offensive for black people to play for black people to voice black characters in TV shows? Can we say that that's offensive too? And then take that black person who's been acting as that character, throw him out of the way for some white guy to do it? No, that would be considered racism. So why change the gender and why change the race of a character that was never those things for no reason other than equity and diversity, even though your outward appearance doesn't diversify your own character? You know, the things that you can't physically change. You know, me being white doesn't make my personality like any different. You know, it's all about me. I make my own personality. My personality develops through the experiences that I have, not through the color of my skin or my genitalia. So, yeah, I just feel like, you know, the super pets thing is like where they feel they need to change the race and the sex of a certain character to fit a narrative. It just seems a bit racist to me, you know? And that's not all. That's not everything that was bad about it. There were some other things. For example, all the female characters in it, they seemed like the smartest characters, and that's fine. But if you're trying to have inclusion, shouldn't you have dumb female characters and smart female characters and dumb male characters and smart male characters? There wasn't a single smart human character on the Justice League. Not even Cyborg was smart in that one, even though he's supposed to be really smart. And he's black, so why can't we make him smart? And then we're putting in smart black people, and now we've got inclusion. And it's an inclusion that everybody can agree with, because Cyborg is supposed to be a smart character, but not in this. No, he's got to have an afro. Yeah, Cyborg had a psychedelic afro, uh, and he had this very much personality that was not original. Any comedic black character would have that personality. That's what I'm saying. You know, so they're missing all their chances, and they're promoting stuff they're promoting stuff in the intentions of doing some good. I understand that. They have their intentions, but with their intentions, they start to make all the bad decisions. And when I say that, and I'm kind of going on a tangent, I'll get it out eventually. So they have good intentions, but those intentions are leading to some really bad decisions. And this is a thing that a lot of people do. They think they have good intentions, but those good intentions lead to bad outcomes. They lead to bad outcomes, and it's happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And we just need to learn from our decisions. A lot of this woke pandering that you see in these movies is all based on diversity hires. But the problem with diversity hires is that it's affirmative action, in that it doesn't matter what skill set you have. We're gonna hire you based on your skin color, because that's all that we care about. Yeah, it would be nice if you had some actual skills in writing, but nah, your skin color is what's most important. You know, and that's how we American society. That's how we register that, and it's a hard pill to swallow. The majority of the people in America are white, and I understand that I think it's refreshing when I see someone that isn't the same skin color and sex as me on the big screen. I think it's refreshing. But at the end of the day, when you push someone who doesn't look like me, uh, and has nothing to make me like the character, I'm thinking, why the hell would you put that character in there? And your answer is, oh, because of diversity. Bullshit! It's not because of diversity. If you would have if you wanted diversity, you would hire good storytellers to write diverse characters. Okay? But instead, you have all these woke hires that are like, huh, I wonder how we can make this character diverse. Gay, black, dyed hair, transgender. Next, oh, we got another character. I don't like that. He's so white. He's so male. Black. Yeah. Great writing. Oh my god, and it's getting so much worse everywhere else too. And I just hope it doesn't seep into like those American Godzilla movies. It already has, by the way, with the greedy corporate guy from Godzilla versus Kong, you know. Yeah. It makes me uncomfortable, because we have people out there. And by the way, we need to, as a society, we need to make it so that racism is bad across the board. what we shouldn't do is change the definition of racism to mean something that it isn't, and then use that to be racist yourself and say, oh no, I'm not racist. Here's the definition. Ignore the fact that it was something completely different that correlated with what I'm actually doing and what I'm actually saying a month ago. You know? Yeah. So yeah, we as a society need to reject racism across the board. And it's stuff like this where we're trying to act like it's not racism, but it's so clearly racism. You can't just take a white guy, okay, and he's been white his whole life, and just go, okay, black now. Because if you did that to a black guy, that would be racism. We have to reject it across the board. You can't just take a black guy, a black female, excuse me, and go, and now boom, he's a white male because the white audience likes it. You know, let's if it's bad in that circumstance, it should be bad across the board. But no, it's because equity and inclusion. Well, it's not inclusive when you have equity because equity breeds in discrimination. Equity breeds in discrimination because it equalizes everything, and the people who are actually qualified to do their jobs won't be able to, they're discriminated against. The people who are actually qualified are discriminated against because equity, doesn't matter who you are, what your qualifications are. It matters of your skin color. It doesn't matter your personality. It matters your skin color, And so, yeah. And then they decide to, they just push more and more down our throats, and they hate us as people who consume American media. And this is exactly why I never liked American media. Even as like a 5-year-old, I never liked it. Okay? Another thing I didn't like about it was how everything was so fucking edited, Like Kitchen Nightmares in America is super different from Kitchen Nightmares in UK. Because like Kitchen Nightmares in America, they will chew it up and spit it out and arrange it in a way that builds a story, even if that story never happened in the first place. But in Kitchen Nightmares, they just film it and put it on, and it's actually a lot more enjoyable in my opinion. Because it's real. It doesn't feel forced or fake. Yeah, that those are my problems with American media, but yeah. So like I was saying, the first step is to reject racism across the board, not in just certain circumstances, and that means whenever stuff like this happens, where you have a character who is race swapped, doesn't matter what race they were, it doesn't matter what race they were in the first place. If you race swap a character for no reason, we should all be against that, people. Why can't we have Hal Jordan? Why do we need to have Jessica? And we could have that, and we could just have the already previously Black Green Lantern that already exists, and people would be just fine with that. But no, it's got to be some new Green Lantern that we made personally. It's so lazy. That character was so lazy. Her personality was it was as diverse as a piece of cardboard. She didn't have a personality. Her personality was her accent. She literally said nothing that conveyed any sort of personality, Her whole personality was just her outward appearance. It's creepy, It's really creepy. And another issue I had with that movie was the fact that just like everything, literally everything, they had to paint it in a way that made it so that white males were evil. But you know what? Here's the kicker. Here's the real kicker. While painting white males as evil, they painted black people as evil too. There was this scene where they were explaining Kevin Hart, Batmutt, and they were doing his origin story and how he was adopted by this family. Now, of course, the writers decided to be like, this family's not diverse enough. Black, white, interracial. And so they have this interracial family, and they're like, okay, this is Batmutt's storyline, and then they paint it as if the family was really, really evil and bad to the dog, even though the dog was trying to save the child. But 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 they mistook it, and they got rid of the dog for doing good things, you know. They got rid of the dog for doing good things because they're evil, and black, and biracial. Yeah, great, great. There were pictures for this new Superman show that's going to be 2D animated. Thank God, 2D animated. I'm sick of these 3D animated movies, you know. And then they made Jimmy Olsen black, you know, and I'm gonna be standing out there, and I'm gonna be pissed off about it just as much as everyone else should be about it. Should be, you know, because they shouldn't do this, you know. It's racist, it's discriminatory. And for those of you who say, well, it's not a big deal, you know, get over yourself. Get over yourself. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal because it's racism. Of course it is. It's actual racism. Okay? Actual racism, not this fairy tale racism that everybody else is preaching all the time on CNN. It's actual, definitionally racism. You know, read the definition. There it is. Example. So Super Pets, it wasn't a bad movie. I mean, it was obviously made for kids, so it was going to be bad either way. Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, my only issue was that it had these racist undertones to it that gave me a bad taste in my mouth. You know, and it's something that everybody should reject. Everybody should reject racism in all forms, you know. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Thank you very much. Have a nice one.